When I was 21 years old, I was invited to Bill Gates' house for lunch. At 24, I was employee number 30 at Facebook and was working directly with Mark Zuckerberg to build a lot of the features you've probably used on Facebook. I'm good friends with Tim Ferriss, Tom Bilyeu, Ryan Holiday, and many more influential people you know. In this video, I'm going to share with you a lot of fun stories about interesting people and give you exact tips on how you can start making friends with influential people as well. Stick to the end for the story of how I peed in Bill Gates' bathroom. If you are not subscribed to this channel yet, hit that subscribe button below because I'm going to be giving away $1,000 to one person who subscribes to the channel in the next 7 days. The more people you subscribe to the channel, the better it is for them and for us. We'll announce the winner in the community tab on our channel page. Story number 1, how I became friends with Tim Ferriss. Yes, I started this blog, okdork.com, when I was in college. I started writing about business, marketing, and I was sharing a lot of the things I was learning at Facebook. My friend Warren Hoffman introduced me to Tim Ferriss because I had an audience and Tim was about to come out with this book you may have heard of, 4-Hour Workweek, whatever that was called. I emailed him and I got this auto reply, "Hey, I'm surfing in Costa Rica, but I'll get back to you and we can hang out." That's strange. So we got coffee together in Mountain View, and Tim was interesting, really creative guy, did a lot of impressive stuff, and he had this book that was coming out. So I decided to help him. So I promoted the 4-Hour Workweek on my blog, my email list, and I made a lot of introductions for him. Yeah, and we even sponsored his blog over the years for $5,000 a month for about 3 years. We had a little AppSumo badge. It was one of our best performing ads ever. Eventually, Tim became a huge deal. You probably have heard of him. He has a 4-Hour Workweek, 4-Hour Chef, 4-Hour Body, and a huge podcast. Years later, I've even come on his podcast twice, and I've written even one of the most popular guest posts on his blog called The $1 Million Weekend. This video is not about a love story between two bald guys. Here's some lessons that you can take away from this story. Number 1, the best way to meet other interesting people is put yourself out there. Become a magnet where people want to come to talk to you. So for 7 years, I was blogging without really getting paid or doing anything. I just enjoyed doing it. But because I was doing that, it made it easier for someone like Oren to introduce me to Tim. Number 2, help people first without expecting anything in return. A lot of people do this. "Hey, I really want to help you." AKA, they want to help themselves. We all do, but really commit yourself to 30 days or 365 days, 1 year of helping someone else before you even ask for anything. And number 3, probably the most important part is try to meet impressive people early before they become a huge deal. So who is out there that's on Twitter, that's maybe doing YouTube, that's maybe on Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat, whatever it is that's out there, maybe it's a restaurant, and connect with them, help them build that relationship before they become a huge deal. A lot of the people you're gonna hear about today, I met them in 2004, 2005, and really early on, before they became a big deal today. Why did I actually connect with those people? I found them doing interesting things. So just look for anyone out there, male, female, dog, pronouns, that are doing interesting stuff to you and reach out to them right now. How do you reach out to them? Just send them a compliment. We'll talk about that in a little bit. How do you actually reach out to people that early on? 1, they're not getting a lot of attention, so they'll most likely respond to you. The easiest way to connect with anyone is tell them that you like them and why. So for me, there's an artist named Kid Francesco Oleski. I reached out to him on Instagram and I said, "Hey, I really like your music, it's fire." He responded, and then we started talking about maybe putting on a virtual concert. Story number 2. How I became friends with Ramit Sethi. So at the time I was an undergrad at UC Berkeley, I had an internship at Microsoft. That was my dream in life to work there, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. And so I asked this girl named Claire Shee, who's now a big deal as well, when I went back to the Bay Area, who's the smartest person that you know from Stanford where they went that I should probably meet with in the Bay Area? So her answer was Ramit Sethi. And I asked a couple more friends that same question. Who's the smartest person you know in the Bay Area? And I invited all of those people that answered that question to a happy hour. I paid for it. Plus, it's happy hour. That means it's cheaper. So I met so many cool people that way that I kept throwing events, and I eventually called it a group called Entrepreneur27.org. And I even went on to create CommunityNext.com, which was even bigger events to bring people together. I met the founders of Box.com, Blake Ross, who founded Firefox. I met Kevin Chu, who ended up creating Kabam, which sold for over $1 billion. So what were some of the events and things I brought together? I did a happy hour just like I talked about. I did a wine and cheese nights. Come do that. I did a chess tournament because I like playing chess and thought it'd be a cool way for people to connect. I even did a dodgeball tournament with VCs called Capital versus Labor. I don't know if that would even go over today. But so that was the way I was able to connect with a lot of interesting people, and specifically Ramit. He came to one of my first happy hours because I asked for a referral, and that's where we actually started becoming friends, and that was over 15 years ago. There's not more to it. I know you want more, but that's it. It's straightforward. So what are the major takeaways from this story about Ramit? Number 1, just ask people that are the smartest, most interesting friends you already have, who should you meet specifically? And don't ask like, "Hey, is there anyone I should meet?" The more clear you make your request for referral, the more likely you are to get it. "Hey, Claire Shee, who is the smartest friend you had from Stanford that's in the Bay Area?" That's pretty easy to ask. "Hey, which Mexican restaurant should I go to in Austin tonight?" Pretty specific ask. Taco Deli. The next thing I'd recommend is become the hub for people. Create events. So that could be an online event with Eventbrite. That could be an offline event at a bar. Whatever it is, when you actually become the hub, people will start meeting and introducing other people to you. It's a great way to connect and build your network and meet interesting people. Story number 3. I don't want to share this one, but it's how I didn't get a job at PayPal.com. So when I was an undergrad as well at UC Berkeley, I got the really fortunate chance to meet Max Levchin, one of my idols who came to give a speech on campus. And I walked up to him afterwards and I said, I will do anything to work with you. He was like my idol, man. He's such a hardcore guy. So brilliant, so smart. And so Max said to me, he said in his Russian accent, just kidding, I don't think he talks like that. He said, send me this report. And so I don't actually remember what report he asked me to send, but he wanted me to do some research and follow up with him. And I never did. And I saw him a few years ago, and he still remembered and still doesn't like me. So 2 key lessons that you can take away from the story. Follow up. 99% of people don't follow up. I give speeches a lot, and I say, hey, any of you guys can email me afterwards, and I'm happy to talk with you about it. And literally I say, only 1% of you will ever follow up. And guess what? Everyone's like, nah, I'm different. You ain't different. And no one eventually follows up. Everyone eventually falls off. Maybe you're gonna be different and you will follow through. The second thing that's really key for this story is that when you are hitting up someone to actually work with them or connect with them, offer something they actually want. I can't tell you how many people are like, hey, can I help you with anything? And I'm like, yeah, delete it. How about never message me again? That would be helpful. It's not that I don't want to help people out and I don't want to connect, but make it easy. If you know I'm doing YouTube, if you know Max is working on a firm, bring him customers, bring me subscribers, or go sign up for appsumo.com. Make it easy to actually help them with things that are important to them. And if you can't figure that out, you probably shouldn't go and try to connect with that person. So story number 4, I am still doing these things today. There are so many interesting, impressive people out there. So I have a note on my phone and it's called 52 Weeks of People. So I go out and I'm still actively looking for who is doing interesting, impressive things, male, female, that I can connect with. Why? Because it makes life more colorful. 2 things that have happened recently. Number 1, I got to meet a guy named JD Ross. He's in Austin, Texas. He founded opendoor.com. It's a public company. They've done well. And guess what? Meeting him was so impressive. It was so inspiring, and it increased my network of people, but it was just also fun. The other thing was that while I was in LA last week, I hosted a dinner. So we got a chef who you can see in this clip right here. As well, we hired a magician. And then we brought some friends over, and it was such a cool way to meet new friends and new people in LA. So what are some of the key lessons about me still doing it to this day? Number 1, make your own list of people who you want to meet and actively reach out. Go do that. Number 2, figure out something maybe interesting to reach out with. So when I was in LA, there was a few YouTubers I wanted to connect with. Eric, Jake Tran, Charlie Chang. And so I hit him up and said, hey, do you guys want to come to a Porsche design experience with me where we'll go race Porsches? All of them were like, hell yeah, this dumbass old guy's gonna pay for me to come race cars with him? What's the deal? I said, I just wanna meet interesting people. That was a great way to connect with them, and now I can text them and work with them potentially about something in the future. And lastly, a great way to just start opening a relationship. If you're not sure what to say to people, just compliment them on what they're doing and how it's impacted you. I told you guys earlier with Kid Francesco, I said, hey, I love your music, and it's the one thing that really cheers me up these days. Again, if you are not subscribed to this channel, smash that subscribe button. If you're feeling frisky, throw in the like button as well. I'm gonna be giving away $1,000 to one person who subscribed to the channel in the next 7 days. And if you're already subscribed, don't like unsubscribe, resubscribe, do that. Go hustle. Get your brother, your sister, your mother, your dog, your cousin, the mailman to subscribe. And guess what? Split the money with them. It's a great way to be making some money. We'll announce the winner up in the community tab. And story number 5, how I peed in Bill Gates' bathroom. Shout out Billy G. Sorry about the divorce, that sucks. But when I was 21 years old, I was invited to Bill Gates' house for lunch. So I was an undergrad student at UC Berkeley, and my dream in life was to work at Microsoft. What is a dream of yours in life? I'd love to hear below in the comments. At the time, every Microsoft intern got invited to lunch at Bill Gates' house. I wanted it so badly, not just at lunch at his house, but to work at Microsoft. So I found the campus rep at Microsoft, and I befriended her. She told me, though, Microsoft didn't offer business internships. Oh, poor Noah. So I gave up, and I never met Bill Gates. Psych! I did! It was awesome. But so what I actually did is I followed up with her religiously every month until she told me finally, hey, we might actually have something for you. And in the end, I got an internship in Dallas working for Microsoft and an invitation to Bill Gates' house. So how did the actual experience go? So you get into 2 buses, they frisk you, there's no cameras or anything like that. And you get to go to his house, which is built into Medina in Washington, and it's just unreal. This guy is a legend, and you're at his house. So I gotta ask him 2 questions. First one is that in econ classes, they always talk about Bill Gates wouldn't pick up $1 because it's not worth his time. So I asked him, if I dropped $1, would you pick it up? And he said, it depends. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, my money is not created linearly. It's actually through the stock market, so it kind of comes in waves. So it depends on the time of the day if I'd actually pick it up. I think he would pick it up. And secondly is that we were all, there's like 50 of us from Microsoft and Bill Gates looking out over this amazing house, amazing lake. And I asked him if this was what he envisioned. I don't remember the answer. I'm guessing he did, because he was a smart guy from a rich family. I could see him expecting to do really well for himself. The story about peeing in this bathroom is just, I remember kind of sneaking through all the rooms. I went to his bathroom and I was just like looking up at all the ceilings. He had really expensive paper towels, and I was just like, and I just remember peeing in the toilet and being like, you're peeing in Bill Gates' bathroom. This is awesome. It was surreal, and it definitely inspired me to start a company and be kind of, maybe like a 0.001% rich as Bill Gates. So who cares about Noah and my stories? What can you do today to get started to meet interesting people and live a more awesome life? Number 1, make your dream list of 10 people about who you want to meet. So how do you actually make that list? 1, just ask your most impressive friends who is most impressive to them. That's an easy way. Or secondly, just look at who you're actually following, watching, reading, consuming, saying, man, that person's really up and coming. I love following them. That should be on your list. Number 2, just send them a compliment. Twitter DM, Instagram DM, maybe it's an email, whatever it is, and just tell them how they've impacted you in a positive way. That's it. Number 3, start brainstorming ways you can help those people and go do it. Do not ask, what can I do to help you? You have to do your homework and help them for at least 30 days, if not a year, before you even ask anything from them. They will probably offer to help you. Lastly, as I told you as I was blogging, and that's what helped me meet Tim Ferriss, start putting yourself out there. So tweet for the next 30 days. Start a sendfox.com newsletter. Get on YouTube, be out there. Maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's a blog. Put yourself out there to become a magnet for other people to actually start coming to you. If you enjoyed this video, check out this video where I FaceTime my richest friends and ask them how they made their first $1 million. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel yet, you're missing out on $1,000. What are you waiting for, amigo? Go hit that subscribe button. I'll see you out there, and I love you. Pew, pew.